It has been rainy. It has been sunny. I have been happy. I've been sad. But it is the weekend, and I've been having a really great day so far. What about you?
I've been having a great day. It's 70 degrees. I had a margarita. I had Mexican food. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that can bring me down. Which I appreciate.
Amen. Welcome to Dashboard Discourse.
I'm Grace.
And I'm Jess.
Jess, what is poppin' this week for you?
What's poppin' this week for me is I have been watching some movies on my backlist.
Yeah.
Two main ones. The first one was If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which I did watch with Grace and one of our other friends.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of feelings about it that aren't entirely processed, but overall, I felt sort of meh about it. It was interesting conceptually, but it didn't commit to the bit, as Grace would say. Like, there was not enough commitment to the comedy aspect of it. And it was interesting because at some point in the movie, like halfway through, I was like, this feels almost like a horror film. And Grace is like, this is supposed to be a horror film.
I was wrong.
I quickly verified on Letterboxd it's not supposed to be. But then the following day, I was walking my dog with a friend who's also huge into movies. And he was telling me how he had just watched all of the Oscar nominations, and I asked him what he thought about it, and he thought it was hilarious, and he starts bringing up all these examples, and I just did not see the movie that way.
No.
I thought Rose Byrne did a beautiful performance, but other than that, I felt a little bit confused as a viewer as to like why this was so beloved. Like, it didn't, there was no sense of resolution, which I don't always need to have, but it just felt pointless.
Yeah. I think, you said it best. I thought the movie was a horror. That's how I went into it. I was just like, wow,
feeling.
This was getting tense. very intense. I thought it was doing a bad job at being a horror. But I didn't laugh. I wasn't particularly moved. I feel like maybe maybe we're just the wrong audience for this one.
Yeah, maybe we are. And maybe that's what being a parent feels like, is the thought I had, is that there's like just this constant tension. Maybe. And I think for me, like, I need some like builds and some drops.
Yeah.
Regardless of if there's a resolution or not. And instead it just felt flat the whole time. Like, it just was like, okay, bad uncomfortable thing after bad uncomfortable thing. It was forgettable for me though, ultimately.
Yeah. I wasn't in love with it.
The second movie that I started last night, I have not yet finished, was Anniversary, which is now streaming on Hulu. Stacked cast. Let me tell you, every single one of the actors and actresses, every time they entered the screen, I was like, I know them, and I know them, and I know them. And also, I never heard of this movie until I saw it pop up on Hulu. Not sure how I feel about it because I haven't finished it yet, but it is interesting, and I do think I would recommend it. It's like a mystery thriller drama. If you've watched The Girlfriend on Prime, it starts quite similarly with a boy, Dylan O'Brien, bringing home his girlfriend, Phoebe, what's her name, from Bridgerton. And there's this weird tension between her and the mom, and you're like, ooh, like, the mom doesn't like her son's girlfriend. She ends up pregnant. Not a huge spoiler. That happens like 20 minutes into the movie. But yeah, you're like, why is there this disconnect between these characters? And it gets really interesting. There's some politics involved. Yeah, that's what's popping with me.
I've also
movie after movie.
I've also been watching movies. Just one in particular. I've been trying to watch things that are like kind of like classics, cult classics, things that I kind of missed out on when I was a little bit younger. So this week I watched The Dead Poet Society. It's not The Dead Poet Society, it's Dead Poet Society. There's no the. But I thought Robin Williams did a fantastic job. Like, I've never seen him in such a serious role, because I've also not watched Good Will Hunting yet. But, you know, like, I know him as, like...
I like Dead Poet Society better, personally.
Really?
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Good.
I think every character felt so... Actually, in my Letterboxd review, I put it as like 4 stars or something, and then I wrote in the caption, I was just like, wow, to be a teenage boy experiencing thought for the first time. And I meant that. Like,
Yeah.
I think that there's something beautiful about, like, people, like, gaining consciousness, and, like, unfortunately for girls it happens at, like, 2 years old. And for boys you get to experience it as a teenager, and and I thought they did a good job at that. I thought it was brilliant. I was kind of going into it hoping I would cry, but I think I already kind of knew, like, just from zeitgeist, that things were going to be sad, so I was a little bit too prepared, so I didn't cry.
It's so funny. My dad had me watch that movie when I was like a teenager, a young adult, and then I didn't watch it again until I was in like my mid-20s.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, there are some like denser, darker parts of this movie that I kind of forgot about.
Yeah.
Really beautifully done, though.
Yeah. It also has a book it's a book based off of the movie, and I was looking at it and I was like, oh, maybe I'll read it, but it's like a novella. It's only 133 pages, so the book, to me, can't possibly dig into the situation anymore.
A book following a movie just does not make sense for my brain.
Yeah, unless, like, it goes kind of like the fan fiction route, where, like, it gives us more details, like, opens up these, like, gets really internal, and it clearly doesn't do that. It's only 133 pages.
I'd rather a nonfiction about, like, the filmmakers, like, experience making the film, like, their commentary.
I love figuring out all those things, so I did go to the wiki, and, like, you go down to production, and originally it wasn't supposed to be, like, Robin Williams. They wanted anybody but Robin Williams.
Well, I think up until that point, a lot of his roles had been more comedic in nature, so.
And so the original director, didn't want Robin Williams, but the studio, that was their top choice, and so they put Robin Williams in it, and then they had built this whole set in North Carolina, and Robin Williams refused to show up because he didn't want to work with the director, and so they burnt down the set and found a new director, and then filmed it again in Delaware.
Wow.
It was so...
I did not know this process.
So dramatic!
It's so interesting.
Yeah, but that was like my big highlight of my week, was just, like, learning a little bit about that.
And now you need to go watch Mona Lisa Smile, which is the woman's version of Dead Poet Society.
I was actually thinking, I was just like, wow, I would love to write, like, the female version of this, like, as a novel. Just, like, something about, like, womanhood and girlhood, and just, but again,
watch the movie I'm recommending to you, please, this time, for the love.
Watch it.
Because those two movies in context with each other, I think, would be really interesting.
That's actually something I want to do a little bit this year, is, like, watch things that really just, like, bring together, like, back in, like, English classes and college and stuff, we used to do, now I'm already forgetting the term, but there's, like, a term for it, where it's like you read something and then you, like,
compare and contrast it to another text,
and it's supposed to, like, help inform. Yeah, and I try to do that, you know, like, I'll look something up, and then I'll watch something, and then I'll look some details up about it, and then it's like, oh, what inspired this, where did it come from, stuff like that. But that's something I want to be a little bit more intentional about. Like, after watching Frankenstein, I started reading Frankenstein. I watched a couple of other Frankenstein spin-offs, like, we watched The Bride, all of that. We watched that Dracula Yearning movie. I, like, looked a little bit more into the Dracula story. You know, like, I'm trying to do a little bit more intentional about that.
I love that. Last summer, I did, like, a film festival for one, and I looked at my backlog of movies, and I found overlapping themes or, like, genres or settings that would make it interesting. And for a couple weeks, I just watched all these films, and, like, every day had its own little...
That's so fun.
Thingamabob, and it was so fun, and I feel like it enriched the experience because I was watching it in context with another piece of work that had something to say and similar in nature. So that's cool. I think I'd like to do that a little bit more too.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good thing.
Good goal. Well, do you have anything you'd like to parking lot? Anything you'd like to release this week?
Well, it's the spring equinox yesterday. Yesterday, as of when we were filming this, by the time it comes out, a week ago. But you know, I'm just looking for, like, those fresh beginnings. It's the season of letting go. Mercury was in retrograde, and now it's, like, resetting itself, aligning itself. And so I'm just kind of looking to, like, enjoy the summer, be outside. Obviously it's not summer yet, but, you know,
it's warming up. It feels like summer today.
Yeah, it feels like summer today. I'm just looking to be outside, enjoy the weather, just be a little bit more intentional. No free ads, but I might invest in a brick. I see a lot of people online. There's you can just get like NFC tags and like create your own brick system.
Do you want to do that with me? We could just get a pack.
If somebody else leads the charge, I will do it.
I want to make it all cute too.
Yeah, if you lead that charge, we can do it together. I just seriously
Dashboard discourse craft
day. We'll even record it. You guys can follow along. But yeah, like I really want to get off my phone. I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, I love the internet. I'm a huge proponent of the internet. I think there's so much good that can come out of it. Mm-hmm. I think the reason that I am more of a well-rounded person is because I was on Tumblr.com.
Bring Tumblr back.
Yeah, Tumblr is actually having a resurgence.
Let's get on it.
I'm on there, baby. I never
You
left. That's the thing about me. You can find me on every single social media platform you've ever heard of. Like,
I believe that.
I'm a huge proponent of the internet. I will never be somebody that like thinks of it as like this devilish place. But personally, I've just been getting to a point where like I'm becoming so addicted to my devices, and like with all the change that's happening in my life, I think it's like time to kind of like be a little bit more present, be in the person.
I know what you mean.
But one of my goals this year too,
be in the person, like be in your body.
Yes. One of my goals this year too was just like stop reading ebooks. And like I love ebooks, but like I'll read on my phone. And then I have like so many physical books. We have the library.
I have a huge physical library.
I like love like I used to do that every week. I would go to the library, I'd get 12 books and read them all, and I'd give them back.
I know we already spent a lot of time together, but walk dates to the library.
Me and Jess are gonna become so codependent.
We did go to a fitness class
this morning,
and to a Mexican restaurant before recording this episode.
Yeah, we did. So yeah,
it's crazy that that's what you brought up, because I was going to literally say the same thing for mine. As I felt, and part of it's been the colder, longer, yuckier, grayer winter that we've been having, but I felt depressed this week. And I've always really struggled with anxiety and OCPD, and that depression element just has never really affected me before. And for the first time the last couple of weeks, I've really been feeling it deeply, and especially this week. And I immediately noticed I was like spending a lot more time scrolling, and like I didn't even want to be on my phone. I was just on it, and it made me so frustrated because I like couldn't stop myself. And so I saw the like brick thing too, and I was like, I think that's what I need to do to help me get out of this funk a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I need to get off my phone more, and so I set a goal to consume more physical media. Yeah. Which is both my physical books, like you were saying, but I also want to be in my magazine era. I've ordered a couple of magazines to my house, and I've read a couple of articles for some of them, but I'd like to read them a little bit more, because I think that brings me a lot of joy to like still consume. Yeah. But just doing it in a more intentional way. The second way was painting. We had a friend she had invited us to go watercolor today, and last summer I got super into gouache, into watercolor, and I have all these like lovely art supplies, basically brand new. I did some last summer, and then I kind of let it go as my work got busier. Yeah. So I had pulled it out for today because we were going to go do that, and now that it's out, I think I'm going to be a little more inclined to actually use them.
Yeah, and I mean, we're meant to be like cyclical. Like the summer is meant for gouache and reading and being outdoors and doing the things, and the winter is meant for being on your phone and scrolling and eating a lot of bread and like just not being as creative because you can't output 24/7. Like, we are like plants. Like, the reason we feel good around this time of year is because we're meant to feel good around this time of year. We've done our piece. Like, a lot of people like, you know, like a lot of people around like the New Year's and stuff, like, oh, my goal is to lose weight, yada yada yada. And it's like, it's still not the time, you know. Like, once we get to spring, like the equinox is the true new year, right? Once you get
Samhain.
there,
the witchy fold the opposite.
You're meant to like plant now and like see that come into fruition and like feel good, and then like slowly burn out as the fall goes on. Your leaves are supposed to fall off. You're supposed to get a little chunkier.
Yeah. Like maybe from the hours of like 5 to 10, I am not on my phone. I'm not on my iPad. I'm not on my laptop. Instead, I can consume from the books in my house or the magazines.
Yeah.
Or I can create. And I think that's going to bring a lot of joy and sunshine back into my soul.
Yeah. I think for me, every spring and summer, I'm like, I want to be outside. I want to be outside. And then in the fall, I'm just like, I wasn't outside. Like, I didn't go outside.
There's a great app one of our friends mentioned that like you can track how many hours you are.
I think it's
outside.
called like 1,000 hours or something like that. Because
Yeah.
you're supposed to get out like 1,000 hours a year. But yeah, like I truly like, oh, we have a paint night. Let's do it outside.
Yeah.
I have blankets.
My husband hates this, but anytime I have a delicious food or I find a new hobby, I'm like, this would be great to take to a picnic. He's like, what is your obsession with a picnic? And I think it is just something that women are born with.
Yeah.
The picnicking gene, that I think like there's something to be said about spending time outside on a cozy little blankie, feeling the breeze. It's really good for your brain.
I love my nap days where it's just like, I'm gonna go outside and read, and then I just fall asleep outdoors. My first time I went to Paris, I went on a school trip, and my teacher was just like, you guys, we have to go nap by the Seine. and we were all like, no, that's weird. And he was like, no, guys,
it sounds
you
like a dream.
have to go nap by the Seine.
30-something-year-old.
And we all went, and we fell asleep by the river, and we were just like, that was like the best day. And then like for the rest of the trip, I have like pictures of like me and like these like teenagers that like we barely knew each other. We were all piled together. Like a weird, I'll show you later.
I'd love to see it.
But we were all like piled together in this nap, and it's like, I love those people. Like, I think if we see each other again, it's like, oh man, we were the people, we napped together in Paris. Like, and that's just the life I want. I want like, I want to like nap on my friends. And I want that type of thing, and that's what I'm really looking forward to this year. That's why we have to stop using AI so we can be outside. Leave the rivers.
Period.
Keep it
Nothing
nice
else needs to be said.
temperatures.
I will check in with you next week. I looked ahead for the forecast for this next week. We've got a couple of rainy days, but generally speaking, temperatures are rising.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's supposed to be really lovely. Yeah. I'm planning to go do a picnic tomorrow, take my watercolor with me.
Yeah. That'll be a good
Some
time.
chips and a drink, maybe. A little snacky. But I will check in with you next week.
Yeah.
A little bit of accountability, see how we did.
Yeah.
I hear you brought a topic for us to discuss.
I just wanted to know kind of like what you thought about the streaming economy. I know you said you were catching up on some things. We watched If There Were Legs, I Would Kick You, which we didn't see in theaters. If there were legs, if I had legs, I would kick you.
If there were legs, they'd be kicking us.
I watched Dead Poet Society, which is obviously only on streaming because it came out in 1989. But you know, also when I looked it up, it had like one of the biggest like box office hits of the time. Like it was like the highest grossing movie of that year, I believe. And it's like, we don't have that anymore. When Sinners came out, which I'll always talk about Sinners, but like when Sinners came out, like I think they kept extending the release time period. It stayed in theaters for a really long time. But I know that Disney came out and they said that they are going to keep things in theaters longer. I think they're committing to like 5 or 7 weeks.
It's crazy. That feels so long.
Yeah,
but in contrast to what we've been getting.
And it's like, but we need that 5 or 7 weeks. Like, it needs time because people don't want to commit to that money. We're in a recession, whether you admit it or not.
You know what this reminds me of is My Lady Jane on Prime. I was probably one of the earliest adopters. I remember it coming out and seeing the day it was released and watching it and then messaging our group of friends. I mean, like, you guys need to watch this. It's so fun. It's fantasy. It's romance. It's drama. It's humor. And then you read it. You fell in love.
I did.
You read all the books.
I did listen to your recommendation.
You have. Okay, Grace does sometimes listen to my recommendations. But then it took a few more days, I think, for other people to start to watch it and love it and fall totally in love with the characters. And we were only 3 weeks in and Amazon was like, yeah, it's already canceled.
Yep.
And at that point, that's when it really blew up, I think, on TikTok. And everyone was watching it, and now it's so disappointing for all the time and money they spent in casting and designing sets and putting this together.
They stumbled upon probably like one of the most brilliant casts. Like Heated Rivalry did it, and My Lady Jane did it. Like they did really so good TV.
And the source is so good too. Like the book is so fun, and they really took it and made it something of their own.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that I think we have like these limited attention spans, and even the people who are making the big decisions about what gets to be put where aren't giving things enough time to be discovered.
No. It, like, you get such a short amount of time, and, like, and especially with, like, fantasy, there is just a lot of, like, this is a little bit off topic, right, but, like, Sarah J. Maas, like, who I don't really care for, and I don't really care for ACOTAR, but her rights just reverted to her for the film, because they're not gonna make it. Like, nobody's gonna make these fantasy films. There is an audience that and there's an audience for it who will go and see it.
Huge audience.
But nobody wants to be the first one to make a fantasy, right? Because, like, we haven't had, like, I mean, the last epic fantasy was The Hobbit.
Game of Thrones,
yeah, but, like, that took them years to begin, and that was already, like, millions and millions of copies sold, like, and it was also back when we were making fantasy. Like, Game of Thrones first came out back when we were making the Hobbit movies, and Harry Potter movies were still coming out, and, like, sorry to name drop all these things that I, like, boycott now, but, like, you know, I really encourage everyone not to invest with Harry Potter anymore, especially because J.K. Rowling has, like, made it known. She's like, you give me money, I will go and hurt trans people with it.
My 1-year-old puppy chewed up 2 of my Harry Potter books this week, so it was a sign.
And I said trans rights. But, like, the reason people are so attached to it, right, is because we're not getting any more fantasy. Like, there's no fantasy movies for you to restart that love of with. Because, like, they're not investing in it. They're not going to put it in theaters. They're going to put it on streaming like My Lady Jane. And then, like, if it doesn't pop off immediately, they're not going to continue with it. Streaming doesn't get much money, right, for the actors and the movie producers. It just gives money to, like, the streaming providers. So I think being committed to keeping it in theaters longer, and I promise I'll shut up soon.
No, you're fine.
But being committed to keeping it in theaters longer is really good. I think that's a big move. Because it also, like, takes time, like, word of mouth to get a movie, or to get people to see it.
The number of movies I've brought up with friends and family about something I saw in the theater a month ago, and they still have no idea what I'm talking about. These films that are being made just aren't getting the promotion they deserve. And so no one's going to the theaters because they don't even know what there is to see there.
No.
Which is partially the consumer's fault, I think, because they're not paying attention and actively seeking out media to consume at the theater.
Yeah.
Since COVID, we just have this, like, straight to streaming method that I just don't think is fair for anyone involved in the film.
No. And, like, straight to streaming is just, like, harmful for, like, genre fiction, right? Like, so many horrors were nommed this year for, like, Oscars, and that is so rare because, like, people don't engage with horror, but because they were in theaters, they were interesting. There is a slight resurgence in the theater culture coming back, and it's like this, like, brought people there. Like, why? Like, a black vampire movie, like, that vampire movies barely interest anybody in the first place. How did that happen? We get horror, we get contemporary. We're not, like, we get very little historical, we get no fantasy, we get very little sci-fi. Like, we're not getting anything out of the box, ultra creative. Things are successful when they have long runs, right? Like Sinners last year. Sorry to keep talking about Sinners. I love Sinners so much.
I think Sinners got a longer run than I was expecting it to have gone.
It was there for, like, 8+ weeks. I was able to see it, like, 3 times in theaters.
This was not the case, though, for Hamnet, which is my broken record movie, which I think was so interesting because it was only there for, like, a couple weekends.
We almost missed it.
We went the first weekend, and it was taken off. And then when it was nominated for a handful of Oscars, it started showing up in theaters again, which I was like, I wonder who makes that decision about when it pops in and out. And I think a lot of it has to do with how many seats they're selling for it. But I just found that was really interesting. It was like once people had it on their radar, then they're like, oh yeah, we should probably play this again.
These types of things bring people out, bring people to theaters. Project Hail Mary was full 4 days before it even opened, right? Like, these are things that create long-lasting fans, and we're not giving them anything.
Not giving them an opportunity even to become a fan because they don't know about it. And then by the time they do know about it, it's taken out.
And unfortunately, I'm really looking forward to the summer because there's a lot of movies coming out. But there's going to be a period of time when all that's going to be in theaters is, like, Odyssey, Spider-Man, right? Like,
it's going to be hard to see any of these smaller films.
We're not going to be able to see anything. And it happened when Oppenheimer and Barbie came out, right? Like, there were, like, several theaters for Oppenheimer, several theaters for Barbie. There was, like, a movie the other day that when I was looking for things for us to watch, like, it was just, like, here's, like, 8,000 different times that you could watch this one movie. But, like, the rest of the movies, it's, like, you can maybe see this if you drive, like, 45 minutes away.
Not to toot our own AMC horn, but as Nicole Kidman says in the opener, like, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. There's a reason why you go sit in a dark theater with a group of other people who are also anticipating something exciting, and you have no other distractions. You can't have your phone out. You can't, like, get up and go do a chore, like, take a call or anything. You have to be sat for the entire performance, and that's why it's so special to, like, go to a third space and enjoy the film rather than just streaming it at home.
I agree.
So it's really sad that we just aren't getting as many options, because there's so many movies I'd love to see. One of the ones I really wanted to see in theaters was Sentimental Value.
Yes.
And it only had, like, 1 or 2 showings near, like, one of our local theaters, and then after that they just moved it to a theater that was, like, more than an hour away, and I was like, well, I can't commit to, like, driving that far for that movie.
No.
So I didn't get to see it in theater, and I'm so sad because I think I really would have enjoyed that.
Yeah. But remind me what we're gonna see.
Tonight we're seeing Ready or Not 2,
which I'm really excited for. Again, horror. It just has it has a stacked cast. It has Dr. Abbott from The Pit in it.
I didn't know that he was in this.
That's Daddy. Respectfully. But I'm really excited. I think it'll be a really good time. I think this is one that's meant to be seen in the theaters.
Yeah. I didn't get to see the first one in theaters. I saw it on Redbox.
Straight to streaming.
It was that time period, and it made sense for that time period, but exciting that we get to see this one on the screen.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I saw a TikTok from Cinema Joe, who is, like, a movie TikToker that both Grace and I follow and have watched his reviews, and he had some, like, iffy thoughts about this, so I'm going into it kind of with lower expectations.
My hopes are high in, like, the campy way. Like, I hope it just fulfills that just, like, over-the-top, crazy movie.
That's what I like in most of my horrors.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think that's it.
Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
See a scary movie. Be scared.
Cinema Joe was wrong.
You know what? Sure. Why not? I liked it. I had a fun time.
It was a great little time. It was exactly what was promised. Like,
they committed to the bit.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was sitting there, I was
Grace
like,
is gonna...
They committed to the bit.
This.
Every single thing they did was the most ridiculous thing they could have chosen to do, and it was the right choice.
So many gags.
Yes.
Great gruesome horror.
Yes.
Gotta scream out of Grace.
You'll always get a scream out of me.
A real good scream. I kept thinking, okay, when I was little, my parents did not take me to Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
But I did walk into their bedroom one night, and my dad had some, like, James Bond action sort of movie on.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, babe, it's just ketchup. I was like 4 or 5 years old. So I always look at movies like this. I'm like, how many gallons of ketchup did they use to produce Ready or Not 2?
Oh my God.
So much ketchup.
No. So much ketchup. Oh my gosh. Probably like one of the bloodier movies. But like the bit from the first movie, and that was hilarious. Like,
I thought maybe, I don't know why I was nervous to see this. Because I love the first one. I thought it was a fun time. And this was the exact same thing, but it wasn't, like, redundant. It felt better. It felt great. And maybe it was because there was so much space in between the two. Mm-hmm. I think maybe if they had done it closer, like if they had released it a couple years after, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But that was a ball.
It was a great little time. I just had fun. It was a fun little time. I mean, like, all these movies, the same thing that they have going for them is the thing that's not going for them, is that, like, they kind of, like, follow this plot that, like, we're kind of used to, you know? Like, somebody gets into trouble. That person probably doesn't deserve to be there. They gotta find their way out. There's this whole cabal of people who are, like, doing crazy things. And, I mean, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It worked.
Yeah. I'm gonna say right now, my rating probably would be like somewhere between a 3 to 3.5.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. We had this discussion off camera earlier today.
Yeah.
That I think there's this perception that like 3 stars is not great. Like 3 out of 5. And to me, like 3 to 5 means it was a good. Yeah. It was not the greatest thing I've ever seen. But like depending on the mood I'm in, like that was a really fun afternoon and I would do it again. So like maybe in some situations it'd be a 4 or 5 star even. But solid like 3 to 3.5.
Yeah, I rate everything based off of my level of enjoyment, so I might give it a 4 just because of like 4 stars, automatic enjoy. But I also agree, like I don't think 3 stars is a bad rating, and I think we need to stop thinking about it because we only have 5 to give. Yeah. Right? Like 3 is the majority.
It's above average. It's above the median.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I think once we get into 2.5 territory, I'm like, ooh, that's probably like bad, but it only has like a couple good things going for it. Like,
if I'm scrolling Letterboxd, IMDb, Storygraph, Goodreads, any of those, and I see anything like above a 3, or in IMDb's case, anything above a 6, I'm like, you know what? That's probably still worth my time. I'm going to try and watch this.
Yeah, I know you hate Rotten Tomatoes, but that's the reviews of the people. And I'm the people.
What kind of people?
Me, I'm the people.
Letterboxd are more my people, I guess.
Yeah. And so I love checking Rotten Tomatoes, and like 70 or above is a good movie.
Yeah.
And that's that 3 star, you know, like some of my favorite movies, I'll be like, wow, that was a great time. I wonder what Rotten Tomatoes says, 20%. I gasp every time.
That's why I'm like, there's movies I go and see and I love and I rate so highly, and I go to Rotten Tomatoes and it's like 10% or 20%, and I'm like, the people did not like this. The people did not get this because we don't see enough movies. So that's why I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes, because it's just like, I don't know. I'm not above Rotten Tomatoes people, but...
No. I mean, I think you told me they're not your people.
They're not my people. No. But this is one of those movies I don't think you can take seriously, and that's why I was able to enjoy it so much.
I mean, like, art serves a purpose, and sometimes it's just to entertain you.
Yeah.
Like... And I'm glad they committed to the bit.
I think of movies like Napoleon Dynamite, Eurovision, Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Like these movies that...
Commit to the bit.
Nothing serious about them. Still have some great actors in them.
Yeah. They had some fun actors in this one. We had Elijah Wood, who I feel like I haven't seen in a lot of things.
This was such a fun role for him. I love when an actor like does like a franchise, a series, and is so serious. They get their bag and then they just do projects that are for fun.
Yeah. Sorry to mention Harry Potter again. But Daniel Radcliffe,
he's a great example of that.
I watched him in Swiss Army Man, you know, which was a crazy movie. He just does whatever he wants. Right now he's in a show on Peacock where he like his love interest is like Meg the Stallion or something.
Why not?
And it's like, you know what? Good for you.
Yeah.
And that's what like this feels like. I do think I found out the main actress is Australian, and I just felt like I kept looking at her and I was like, wow, you hold your mouth in a really Australian way.
Yes, she does. I thought that the entire movie, I was like, I'm trying to remember what else she's been in and who else she reminds me of, and that's exactly what it is.
There was a point when I was like, wow, she would have been a really good Kathy in the Wuthering Heights, just because like her face, she just like, I just really like her. The other actress who is the sister, I feel like I've seen her in a couple things. She was in that Glen Powell rom-com, right?
The no. That was with Sydney Sweeney.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. The first Glen Powell rom-com. No, the first Glen Powell rom-com where they're like warring assistants for like these like different for these big businesses.
Maybe that's her.
I also feel like she was on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, or like Sweet Life on Deck.
I'm trying to remember what I even know her from, because I've seen her in some stuff. I like her. She's got one of those faces that like looks very similar to many of the like young actresses that are emerging. But
she was really good. Dr. Abbott was a fun little time. Sarah Michelle
Different
Gellar.
side of them.
We
won't spoil like plot lines, but
no, just like
cast.
All these actors and stuff were like really good. I did like that they only had like a couple of big names in the ensemble cast, and I don't think it took away from, like, the enjoyment of, like, some of the other fun people.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I watch ensemble cast sometimes, it's like big name, big name, big name, big name, big name, and then it's like, why do you have such a big name for somebody who's doing nothing?
Mm-hmm.
And this one, like, they kept the big names to, like, people who are really, really involved, and then, like, let, like, smaller actors have, like, their shine by being, like, these funny side characters.
Yeah. You know what I kept on thinking watching this is it felt like I was at, like, community theater.
Yeah.
But we had these guest stars come in who were so good, and we were just being treated to a performance.
Yeah.
And they kept on, like, their acting faces, but it wasn't that serious.
No. Everyone gave their all to these parts,
Yeah.
and that's what I love.
Like, it could have felt like they were playing, like, caricatures of, like, these different roles, but instead they really just, like, leaned in a way that felt genuine, and they, like, cared about the story. So
yeah, these are theater kids at work.
Please. Yeah.
Like, these are actors who liked acting.
My one complaint maybe would be that I felt like there were some general pacing issues, and a lot of it had to do with dialogue between, like, these sister characters, and it felt like they were maybe spelling things out a little too much, but it was okay. Like, it didn't ruin the experience for me.
I think they definitely planned this movie after the first one came out, because, you know, like, sometimes, like, you'll make a sequel because, like, something was a success, but, like,
you didn't
know. Yeah, you didn't know. Or, like, on the flip side, right, like, you make a sequel because it was a success because you always wanted a sequel. And, like, I feel like they were just, like, adding in little things in this one. So, like, there were parts when they had to, like, sit down and explain it to us because we were like, whoa, we didn't get any clues.
Something I did appreciate was that if you hadn't seen the first one, I feel like they explained the plot of the first movie in a way that felt like a good refresher for me or anyone who maybe hasn't seen it in a while, but also, like, not redundant.
This is one of those sequels, like, you could watch first.
Yeah, you could watch the sequel first and understand exactly what's going on. You could go in having not watched it in a long time. And I also feel like you could have watched it yesterday and you would have been like, okay, this is picking up.
Yeah.
Like, it really was all within that first 5 to 10 minutes that they kind of were like, okay, this is what happened and this is where we're going. And
I agree.
It felt good to me. There was one part in the first act where they're like, there she is, get her. And I was like, okay, so, like, I think the pacing, like, the issues I do have had everything to do with the writing, maybe, where they could have just tightened things up a little bit, but...
Yeah. But, like, I think that was, like, part of the commitment to the bit.
Maybe
like,
it was.
Sometimes you commit so hard that, like, you, like, lose it a little bit, but I'd rather that than, like, not bothering with it, and then it just, like, moving on, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was giggling.
I was having a great
laughing,
time.
And once again, not as much laughter.
The only 2 people laughing in the whole theater every single time.
Oh, that's how you have to watch horror.
Yeah,
you gotta laugh.
It was funny.
It is funny.
It was funny. This is like I actually saw there's a podcast called like Horror or something. I can't remember. Rachel Harrison, a horror author. Yeah. She's on a lot of horror podcasts. And she's coming out with like a podcast episode with these people this week that's talking about like these campy horrors. So like Happy Death Day, Ready or Not. That one that came out last Valentine's Day that was really funny. You didn't watch it with me. I watched it with our friend Karen. But all those horrors of a type, they're going to be talking about it in that episode, and I'm really excited to listen because it's like, these are fun and interesting and like these are like really good ways to get people into horror. Like, you don't have to,
it's a gateway drug.
You don't have to be like overly scared to enjoy horror and like find these things like entertaining. And I think a lot of people walk out of movies like this and they're like, that wasn't realistic, that wasn't very fun, and
that wasn't
like,
very scary.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not supposed to be realistic, it's not supposed to be scary, like, it's supposed to be just like something absolutely ridiculous out of this world, but still like pulling in all those horror elements. Like,
I feel like there's only one real jump scare in this too, which is one that a lot of people expect when they like go into scary movies, is they're like, oh, I'm gonna be jumping because things are gonna be coming out of nowhere, I'm not gonna be like aware of where things are like on the stage, and I just felt like that wasn't part of their scare tactic.
Which I can appreciate. I think that like I really like the attempt at all these horror movies to like lean into other types of things to freak you out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it did a good job. Any other thoughts? It was a fun one. It was just like a good time. It wasn't really, no think pieces are gonna come out of this. There's nothing to be offended about.
No. I think it'd be fun to watch them back to back because it really
Yes.
does just pick up right where the first one left off.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and maybe fortunately for me, it'll be probably on streaming
In
relatively
like a week or
soon.
two.
So yeah, I definitely would watch it again. I think it would make for a really fun little horror night.
Yeah.
Have some friends over.
Yeah.
Even ones who maybe don't typically lean towards the horror genre. I
Mhm.
think, like you said, this is like some good soft horror.
Yeah. I think it's a great time. It gives you what you want, and I think that's a good movie. When you walk out of it getting what you wanted from it, it's a good movie.
That opening shot, I was reminded, I was like, that looks like a wedding venue that I've worked at before.
I really hope you have.
I did too. And I thought this second movie did a great job at bringing like the wedding theme into
Yeah.
the story again without it feeling forced.
Yes.
So that's something to look forward to if you decide to watch it.
Mm-hmm. I might go watch the first one again after
I know,
this.
that's
Like,
what I
I'm
might
just
do
gonna go
tonight.
home and just like find it on streaming and just watch it. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a fun time, and there were a lot of good little callbacks, and it was just, I really liked it.
We are choosing to disagree with Cinema Joe.
Yeah.
Sounds like this time. He didn't get it quite right.
I agree with a lot of his opinions. Like, he's like the only movie guy that like I'm just like, yeah.
He's not too much of a film bro. He's not too techie, and
Yeah.
he's got some takes that I agree with. But this one, I feel like, you know what? It didn't have to be like so serious, and it was okay that they were like really forward with like the comedy
Yeah.
aspect, and they were telling us what was going on. Like you said, like maybe it was like a good thing that he's like, hey, there they are, get her.
Get her.
It made me laugh.
Yeah. No, it was a good time. Oh, goodness.
I think if you liked Knives Out, Glass Onion, if you liked the Death on the Nile, Murder on the Orient Express, like if you can deal with that kind of like mystery and tension and thriller, then you'd be okay with this.
Yeah, I agree.
And blood. Lots of ketchup. Just look at it that way.
There were a couple times I caught you cringing. You were like,
Was
looking
I?
away. Yeah. I was like, hello.
Oh, yes. There was one scene in particular.
Oh my gosh.
That was pretty gruesome.
Let us know if you watch the movie. Let us know if there was too much blood.
We should have a poll.
A poll,
A
like-
guessing. Let's have a guessing game. We'll look it up. I'm sure someone out there knows how much was used.
How much blood was used? I say probably like at least like 1,000 gallons.
Whoever gets the closest, I say like 5,000 gallons.
These seem like ridiculous numbers, but I mean,
Whoever is the closest gets some Dashboard Discourse merch whenever we make it, which is not yet, but it could be sooner than you know.
yeah. I think what I really like about this franchise too is it's all like practical effects. Like, I'm sure that they put a lot of CGI into it in the background to like buff things up, but like, I mean, like, everything looked pretty real to me. Like, they looked like they threw blood on their faces. It looked like all like the physical injuries. I called them ailments, but in my head,
Ailments indeed.
all the physical injuries like looked real. Like,
I just kept on thinking like these stunt doubles did a fantastic job. Like they were getting thrown around. You should know going into this that there's like altercations, people fighting and hunting.
yeah. Like, that's kind of the whole part
That's the
of
whole
it.
point of it. Again, not a spoiler. Ready or Not 1 has been out for 6+ years.
I know. I like how it's called Ready or Not, Here I Come. I don't know why we've been calling it Ready or Not 2.
I don't know. But yeah, stunt doubles, great job being thrown around.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun time.
What a fun little time.
I'm glad we came.
Me too.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Okay, you can find us on
Substack, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to your podcast, YouTube. We have a lot of little fun people on YouTube, apparently. Like, more people than I expected to watch us look around confused at our cameras.
Any movies you're looking forward to in the coming weeks?
I mean, the drama, right? Like, that's the it girl for the A24 fans.
Before the It Girl, though, is another group of 4 It Girls. 4 It Girls.
Oh, Forbidden Fruits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy. I think that's going to be next week's episode.
I'm really excited. That one's going to be really good.
This is like our March Madness.
Yeah.
Our Super Bowl.
Move over, WNBA.
April is a fantastic month for movies. There's so much coming out that I'm so excited for.
I'm really excited for the drama because I hope that it makes up for the disappointment that The Materialist was last year.
I didn't think that was a disappointment. Not for you?
No.
I still enjoyed it. I think it's going to be similar.
I liked The Materialists a little bit.
Not a little bit.
Not a little bit. And
Like
I'm
a 3 to 3.5?
Like a 2.5 to 3.
Really?
Yeah, like it was definitely
What
like...
did you give it on Letterboxd?
Girl, I don't remember.
I bet you gave it
I
higher.
probably gave it like a 4. Because I walked out and I was
think
like,
I gave it a 4.
ooh, Goo Goo Gaga, Pedro Pascal. Dakota Johnson. Like, I probably walked out of that and was like, great.
Okay. We'll come back in 2 weeks for the drama.
Yeah.
That is what we will be sharing. And then come back next week for
Forbidden
Fruits.
Cult
So
classic.
excited for
Is
that
this going to
one.
be our Charlie's Angels? Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe.
I'm excited for it, and I'm excited for Practical Magic 2.
Yeah.
A lot of witchy vibes this year.
It'll be a fun little time.
Everyone enjoy your spring equinox.
Yeah.
Get outside, get off your phone, go see a movie in the theater.
Yep.
And maybe see Ready or Not 2. Bye. Bye.